everybody, so I'm back. So freaking sorry for being so inconsistent and like slow with these YouTube videos, and I just feel like such a bad person. But I had a lot going on. I had to move. You all know that I moved back to Orlando. You know that I moved back to Orlando. I started a new job. Like, it was just a lot, so I wasn't able to be consistent, but I did finally get y'all that video out of my last 2 weeks in Cali. So now I'm back, settled, not to be consistent with the video. Today's video, I'm gonna be talking about my first night shift experience, me moving to Orlando. I feel so like, I don't know, I haven't did a YouTube video in a long time, like just sitting and talking, so I kind of feel kind of weird, but you know, I'm gonna get right into it and I'm gonna get more comfortable as the video goes. So, yeah, if you didn't already, like and subscribe, follow me on Instagram, all that, do all that. Like I said, I'm about to get back consistent with these videos, and I'm gonna chill out on some of the editing, like as much editing as I used to do, because that honestly what prolongs my videos coming out, because it stresses me out, and right now I work, so I ain't got time for that. But back in Orlando, I moved back to my hometown, which a lot of people wouldn't do after college, but I wanted to do it because I wanted to like be close to my family and stuff. You know, my mom died, so I just wanted to have family for just a while. I mean, this is definitely short term. I don't see myself staying in Orlando past 2 years, but I did want to move here, see my niece, be with my sister, my grandma, my nana, my friends from high school, and my best friend. So yeah, I wanted to move back to Orlando for that reason. And plus, Orlando has really good hospitals. It's a really good city. If I wasn't from Orlando, I would have probably no problem being here all the time, living here. But it's just like, I feel like moving to your hometown kind of slows you down. I'm excited to be back. I love being in my city. I love, you know, visiting my grandma and both my grandmas. I bring them little food. I make them little vegan food. I love spending time with my niece, my sister. Yeah. I live not too far at all from my job. I live like 6 minutes away from my job, so like I have no excuse to be late. Like, I could literally catch the train. There's a train, Sunrail. If you're familiar with Orlando, you know what Sunrail is. But yeah, so I could catch that train, but I don't. But I'm just trying to tell you all how close I am. What I've been doing here is just like hanging out with friends, finding little vegan places, cause when I was in high school, I wasn't vegan. I was vegetarian senior year. I just, you know, I ate the most stupidest things. I ate like fries and lemonade from Chick-fil-A every day. And like, I didn't really have like consistent meals, or like, I didn't like eat a whole bunch of different variety of foods. I just ate the same thing, and I didn't really know how to eat like pizza and all that. Being vegetarian is very easy, so it wasn't hard at all. But now that I'm in Orlando as a full-grown adult living on my own, I just like to check out these vegan places and cook my food, and that's what I've been doing. Also, I just been, what else have I been doing here? Fixing up my apartment. I feel like that took like 4 weeks of doing that. Go shopping sometimes. Did I go to the beach yet? No, I didn't. I did. No, I went to Tampa. I did go to the beach in Tampa, which is an hour away. Just been having little Airbnb parties, stuff like that. But okay, so hospital life, my respiratory life. So everybody knows that I'm a respiratory therapist, of course, plant-based RT, and I worked really hard to become a respiratory therapist, like to get through the program, after the program, studying for my test. I worked really hard for this, and I prayed for this. Like, I prayed for me to have a house, or apartment, me to be on my own and have a job and just be working and just loving life. And like, I'm at the moment that I prayed for. And I know I would get here because my mom, I know she was with me throughout this whole thing. My family that is still physically here, they were with me and supporting me. So I prayed for this moment. So I'm so happy that I got here, and I want to tell you all about it. 22 years old, and yeah, I'm the youngest person at my job. I love that because they're all like, oh my God, you're so young, you're so young. And I was like, oh my, it makes me feel like, oh my God, I'm that bitch. Yeah, I love that about my job. And I just love my job. I love being in a bigger city. Like being in Tallahassee, I was at a hospital that, it was a good hospital. I love TMH, and it, like, a lot of people from different parts of the like South Georgia and North Florida, like if they didn't have a big hospital, they would, you know, fly into TMH. So it was a good hospital, and I'm glad that I did clinicals there because I did learn a lot, and I miss Tallahassee, honestly. But I you know, I learned a lot from that hospital, and I'm so glad that I went there. So yeah, now I work, I'm not gonna tell y'all where I work, but I work in a hospital in Orlando, and it is a bigger hospital and bigger than Tallahassee. It has like a couple hundred beds more, and it's a fully adult hospital. We do a lot more than we did in TMH. Like when you're a respiratory therapist in different cities, you do different things. Like in TMH, we did not deal with like chest tubes. We did not deal with, what did we not do? We didn't do, it's just one thing that they do, lactate. We didn't do lactate, which is basically, if you know about respiratory, it's the same thing as an ABG. It's just like you get it from, you pull blood from the artery, but right, like when you do the lactate, you're basically getting the lactate levels, and lactate can tell you if you have sepsis. So yeah, so we just do a lot of different things, like the chest tubes. Like I said, we checked that. I always read about that, but we never actually did that. I don't believe that we did the passy mirror valve test in TMH. Maybe I just didn't do it, but yeah, we didn't do that where I did clinicals at. So we just do a lot of different things, and I love it because like I know that I don't want to stay in Orlando like more than 2 years at the most, and I'm gonna want to go to a bigger hospital and they're doing different things, and I just know that this is like giving me all the experience that I need, and I'm very, very excited to be at this hospital. I'm very, very excited that I'm in Orlando and doing everything. So yeah, anyway, yeah, it's a good hospital. I love my hospital. I love being a respiratory therapist. What I do on the daily, I like, of course, do the breathing treatments. I do PAP therapies. I do the chest vest a lot, which we did not do at TMH. If you don't know what the chest vest is, it's basically like you put a vest on the patient, and like it just breaks up like the secretions or whatever, so it can be easier for them to cough up. And at TMH, we mainly did that in the pediatric unit. At where I work now, we do that with all patients. So yeah. So my job just has a little different things, and I know if I would have went to another hospital, it just have different things. It's all about where you at. They allow sometimes respiratory therapists to do a little more than what they do at every hospital. So you can do different things at different hospitals. Like my friend, she works in Texas, my really close friend, Bernia, she said they don't intubate at her hospital, and they intubate at my hospital. And they intubated at, respiratory therapists intubated at TMH. And if you don't know what intubating is, it's when like you stop breathing basically, and we have to like take this blade and you lift up the tongue and you stick a tube right down the vocal cords, and you help them breathe. You bag them or you put them on a ventilator like that. So that's what intubating is. Night shift. Started night shift, and everybody asked me why I'm doing night shift. One, it pays more. Simple as that. I want to work in a position that pays more. That's just like, come on, like, keep it real. Who wouldn't want to do that? So yeah, you get like, I don't even know. I'm not gonna get into how much more, but you do get paid more most times when you work night shift. And there's less doctors, there's less management, so you don't feel like anxious and worried about, oh my God, they're worried about me doing this. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's a lot of families, like the families, they'll be sitting up there looking at you like, are you doing this right? No. Like sometimes the family, they could be nurses, respiratory therapists, and they know exactly what you're doing. And like, I'm new, I'm just starting, so like I'm kind of, sometimes like I get a little nervous when I'm doing something new. So I'm glad I started night shift because I don't want to deal with all those families right now. Like I probably will go to day shift later on down the line, but right now it's like I don't want to do it because the pay and the families and the doctors, like that's kind of, it's a little challenging. And if you feel like you get anxious a lot, which I get anxiety, I feel like you should definitely start night shift because that will help you. So night shift is pretty good. The food's terrible at night. Any hospital you go to, the food's pretty terrible, so bring your own lunch. But yeah, the sleeping schedule is a little weird. It's very weird. Like I come home and I'm like, all right, it's 7 a.m. I want to be doing something. I want to, let me start moving. But honestly, I got to go to sleep and it just feels weird. And then everyone's calling me, like I have to put my phone on do not disturb. People are calling me and all this crap. And I'm just like, I cannot answer because I got to go to sleep. And if I don't go to sleep, I'm going to be tired the next night. So yeah, that's a little weird. But what I do, let me give y'all a tip on what I do. Okay, so I work my night shift and I do drink coffee, like if I get tired, because coffee will get you up. It simply will. So just drink your coffee or drink whatever energy tea. I tried tea, it didn't work, but I drink my coffee and then the next day I'll come home and I'll go straight to sleep. Like I'll take a shower, of course, because all those hospital germs, and then I'll go straight to sleep. And then when I go to sleep, I just try to wake up around 2, 3-ish, and then I'll go to the gym and I'll eat, and then I'll start getting prepared for work around 5:30, and then I'll go to work, and then I'll do it again, which I work tomorrow, so I'll be doing this tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And you work as a respiratory therapist, majority of the time you work 3 days a week, so it's not that bad. So you just gotta do that 3 days a week, and then you could be back to your normal schedule. But yeah, let me tell y'all about my first night shift experience by myself. So it was so freaking scary. Like I did not know that I was gonna be that nervous. I was on my own by myself, which not completely on my own, because there's always like someone you can call, supervisors, other coworkers that you can call for help. But I was so freaking scared by myself. I had the craziest patience. This wasn't my first night, this was my second night. I had the craziest patience. Like I'm not really gonna get into details because I know HIPAA, everybody knows HIPAA, like you can't say certain things, and I'm not saying their names or anything, but I'm just kind of telling you all what was going on, which I'm not, really certain of what I can do, what I can and cannot do, so I'm not gonna get, into details. But I'm gonna just say, basically, a lot of my patients were very critical, and some of them were dying, and it was really, really scary. And I'm just like, dude, I'm just a student. Like, that's how I felt, because I'm so used to being in clinicals. Like, I had a preceptor there, which a preceptor is someone like shadowing you or whatever. And I just like y'all really got me by myself. I'm a student. Y'all trust me to do all this, and nurses calling me like, hey, I just put my patient on CPAP and I don't know if I did it right. And I'm like, well, why are you asking me? Because I just started, baby. I just graduated. Like, and that's how I felt. Like, why are you asking me? Tell me why do you think I know what to do? But I had to realize, like, I'm a real respiratory therapist. I'm not a student anymore. I'm not getting trained anymore. They expect me to know doctors, nurses, the patients. Like, this one man was like, if I stop breathing because this setting is wrong, and I just was like, okay, let me figure out what is going on. I went in the chart and I made sure like all his settings on his BiPAP was straight, and I was just like so nervous. Like, I literally have the control over if this man is breathing at night or not, and like that's really scary. But my second night shift was crazy, like crazy, and I moved so slow, and I had like 20 patients, had to get to every patient, different floors. The hospital is huge. I'm just like running over here, running over there, running over here, running over there, and it all worked out. And I love my hospital because they're so helpful and they're really genuine. They care about you, and all the co-workers, all the supervisors, they all help. And I'm just thankful that I work there, and I know this hospital is for me because my mom was born in this hospital, and it's just like, okay, yeah, I know I have someone watching over me during this whole time. But yeah, so my first night shift was crazy. I don't know if y'all understood what was going on, but it is really it's not a difficult transition, but it's a challenging transition going from student to respiratory therapist, because a lot of things you learn in school you don't do, and you don't do it all. Like, if you did it, somebody would be looking at you like, you don't do that here. Why? Like, you don't do that. So it is a difficult transition, but you get used to it. I'll start getting accustomed to, which I already am getting accustomed to, things that we do in hospital and not doing school, like all them calculations and stuff. Pull out your phone, use a calculator. It's as simple as that. Like, you need to learn those because those are important for you to learn during school. But what is it? AA gradient. What is it? What's the oxygen index? Like, yeah, no, I'm not. No, that is irrelevant. No, that stressed me out during school, and I'm not about to be stressed out about it now because it don't have nothing to do with me now. The doctors are not even probably doing oxygen index. But yeah, so those things are important when you're in school and for your exams and all that. But when you get into the real world as a respiratory therapist, you're not going to do that. And yeah, so that is a relief. But yeah, it is other things that you have to be worried about, like life or death. It's not just a book and you click in, oh, on a test, like if you're on the clinical sims example, like if you choose, oh, I'm just gonna put this patient on a CPAP when he really needs to be on a vent because his CO2 levels are crazy. Yeah, you cannot just click an answer and then, oh, it's okay, try again. No, you're really gonna kill that patient. You can't play around like that. So it is there. Those are the differences. And if you're going to start working as a respiratory therapist, don't be nervous. You got it. And I personally missed like 3 or 4 months of clinicals because of stupid COVID. But yeah, don't be nervous. You got it. If you're going to night shift, which I recommend for if you're just starting, because you don't have to deal with all those doctors, all the managers, which, you know, I love the managers, the supervisors. It's just like, it gets me really anxious knowing someone's gonna be, okay. It gives me anxiety. I get anxiety. So yeah, and the doctors will give you anxiety too. The nurses will give you anxiety, which the doctors and nurses will still call you through the night, and there are supervisors during the night, but it's less, so you can kind of calm down, kind of work at your own pace. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, night shift I would recommend, and just be the best person you can be the best therapist you can be. Always be genuine, always be caring, always care about people, and realize that it's not just a job, that these are actually people's families, and And just think about if it was your mom or your grandma or your dad or your uncle, like you would want someone to actually spend time with them and listen to them. Like this patient, she gave me, she wrote me on a survey already because she was just like, I was so genuine. I was listening to everything she said. I stayed in her room for probably an hour. And honestly, I was really sleepy. So I was trying to just keep myself up. So I was just listening to her like, oh, that's crazy. Yeah, That's what I was doing. But so, yeah. I just wanted to let you all know that's how my first night shift went. This is my new update, moving to Orlando, working as a real respiratory therapist student to RRT. Like, it is amazing. I love my life. I love my career. I love my field. I love who I work with. I love my hospital. I'm just so thankful and I'm so blessed to have been put in this position, because there's some people that graduated from college and they don't even have a job and they don't know what they're doing. And I'm so glad that I chose the field, and I will really be like encouraging people to do respiratory if they don't know about it. Tell me what you all want me to make videos in. I will make it because I love YouTube videos and I'm getting back on my routine. So just let me know what you all want. And yeah, I know you all ain't used to seeing me with this hair, but yeah, love you guys. Make sure you watch and subscribe. And if you're a respiratory therapist, vegan, or in a medical career and don't know what to do, tell your friends about me. House tour coming soon. Y'all get to see my apartment, see how I'm living. I'm just gonna do a lot of videos, lots of videos. Tell me what you all want, and I got some stuff for y'all too. I'm going to New York. It's just a lot. I got a lot of big plans. So yeah, love you all. Subscribe, like, watch my other videos.